Mary, thank you for joining me today on Pop Culture Unplugged.
Thank you for having me.
Exciting times. Cobra Kai season 6, part one. I spoke to a few cast members already. One of the first questions I've been asking is like, feels like it's been a while since we've seen Cobra Kai.
I know it feels like forever. It definitely, it stays a part of my life even in the off season. I run into so many awesome fans, so it feels like yesterday to me, and also it's been way too long.
Amazing. So, like, would the fans tune in Thursday to watch this? So what do you hope to get out of the first part?
I think the first part of season six is like to me, it's kind of like the homing device as we go through this kind of crazy, tumultuous finale. I think these 5 episodes really set the scene, and they are like the foundation that everything else gets built up from.
Amazing. So, Samantha, we enjoy watching her journey throughout these seasons. How would you say she's evolved now from like the first season, last time we spoke, also now into like going on to season 6?
Oh my God. She's been through quite a few ups and downs, definitely. But my main thing with Samantha has always been that her why stays really true and important to her. And I think her why, season one, she didn't really have it. She was searching for, what was her goal, what was the most important thing to her to hold true in her heart through the ups and downs of young adulthood.
Yeah.
I think she found that in karate and in following her father's footsteps in continuing Mr. Miyagi's legacy. And I think the preservation and respect and care around that idea is kind of her homing device. That's her beacon to come back to.
Throughout these seasons, you're playing this character and everything. When you're going through the scripts and you're reading, like, how excited do you get seeing her storyline keeps going?
It's a blast. I truly feel like I'm with all the fans when I get a script. I get it in
Yeah.
my email or I get the hard copy in my hands, and I just like devour it. Like I love to read anyway, so like I'm already doing that. But I mean, I sit there and I'm like flipping through pages, like I can't get through it fast enough. I'm like, what is happening to everybody? And then I go and pester the writers like as soon as I get done with the episode. And I'm like, what? That was such a cliffhanger. Like now what? What happens next? And we get our episodes sometimes a little last minute because there's so many moving pieces to what we do. So it's sometimes I'm like, oh my god, I don't even have time to think about that. Like I literally just have to jump into this episode tomorrow. So
Mm.
I feel like all the fans are right there with me as I'm reading through it and just like tearing through the pages.
Amazing. What do you think is like the biggest challenge like this for this season for Samantha?
I think Samantha's biggest challenge throughout her arc is kind of really like in we get to see it in a microscope in this
Mm.
season, which really is her having learned maybe all the wrong ways to go about trying to do the right thing. And hopefully her navigation of saying, how much is the right thing in my eyes the most important thing? Or is it, to what degree can I take input from other people and be malleable and have that journey and have that goal morph with me and with the people around me?
Mm. Would you say season 6 has been like the hardest to train for and to prepare for compared to the other seasons?
Definitely. I think, this season, season four as well, where those were our tournament seasons. So I think, for at least for my character as well. So those are definitely the ones that like we approach with the mentality of like, we are preparing for a tournament. Like we are
Yeah.
not just, learning different karate techniques in scenes and then applying those techniques. And we're definitely not like street brawling with anybody. You know what I mean? Like these are
Uh,
the seasons where we have to go into it knowing what matters is what happens on the mat. Even if I, as an actor, fall out of the lines of what's playable on a mat fight, that would technically count against me. So I have to behave just like Samantha would. I have to stay alive. I have to stay present. It's definitely a lot more of an intensive training regimen, but for the better. I think we all really pushed ourselves this season to hopefully look our absolute best.
mm. I love how this season two, she tries to, to be friends with everybody. No, no more, like, like you said, fights and everything like that. Like, how would you describe like her relationships now with the other key figures in season
I
6?
to me, that's like me, Mary. That's the thing I love the most. I love the martial arts aspect, but I really love all the relationships that I've developed off camera with these people. It was nice to finally be in scenes with Peyton where we didn't have to
Yeah.
pretend to cut each other up. Because she is such a lovely person, and then so we've been friends off camera, but this was the first season where I really got to interact with her in a different way on screen. Maybe not bestest friends right away, but
Yeah.
definitely, of the intention and of the journey. I think Sam is definitely at her strongest when she feels like she is fighting for the greater good, and for her, that's all the people she has around her right now.
Mm. Now that the 5 episodes have dropped, would you see, like the cliffhanger on the last episode 5? What's your thoughts on that?
I I can tell you that when I went in to do ADR, was when we first get to see it, because we go in,
Okay.
and loop all the sounds that maybe like there was an airplane going over while I said the line, and so you couldn't hear it perfectly when we recorded it on the day. We go back in a studio, we get to see it for the first time on a full size screen. Um, that moment just was like a stab to the heart. I mean, honestly, the entirety of episode 5 is such a journey. I cried my way through filming it, and I cried my way through watching it the first time, and I'm more excited to see what everybody else has to say, because I feel like we none of us knew that was coming. By the way, when we
Okay.
started
Wow.
episode 1, we kind of got hints of like, hey, this is, it's not going to go the way you expect it to go. But we didn't know quite where it was going. So when that page hit my hand, it hit hard. When we got there and filmed the scene on the day, oh, it was gutted, and I think everybody else was too. So I think it's going to be. I'm really really curious to hear what the fans think.
Mm. Well, it's been like I know we can't talk about the second part, but the first part of the season 6. Well, like, what was your favorite scene or moment?
Um, I really liked like early on we have kind of like the peacetime in the valley moments with
Okay.
the group of us. Those were really fun, just to actually like be in good spirits with everybody. The flag fight was really fun.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
capture the flag, those were really fun days, because we actually had to run in those little pieces of cardboard on our feet, basically these shoes that are not shoes, on wet astroturf. So we're just like slipping and sliding everywhere, which was really entertaining. But um, honestly, being a scene partner to Peyton in episode 5, and our fight and our like the martial arts side of that, and then also the personal aspect of getting to be in the position for the first time where Sam sees the bad thing happening to Peyton, or to
Mm.
Tori, and not having been the cause of it, to really watch that happen on her face, and watch her pain, was incredibly impactful as a person and as an actress, and seeing what Peyton List was capable of in that scene is just awesome. It was epic, but also as for a character, I think that was like a really meaningful scene for Samantha.
Mm. Samantha's been trained by, we have Daniel, then we have a little bit, you've been trained by Johnny. My favorite moment of one of the episodes was Mike Barnes, Sean Kanan, which I spoke to him a few days ago. He loved doing the whole training thing with you guys. Tell us a little bit about that.
No, that was so fun. I mean, I feel like that was we've got all the bad boys of karate now,
Yeah.
and, in one place, which is just so bizarre. But like looking up on the deck and seeing, Johnny and Daniel and Mike Barnes is just completely surreal from our point of view, by the way. But he's such a hoot. He's so funny to watch his character interact with everybody, because like off camera he's so nice, and
Right.
in such good spirits, and then as soon as they call action, I mean, it's like wham, and he's just pacing up and down those lines and giving us the lecture. I was intimidated, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, oh shit, the Sentai Tech guy might be even more intense than I thought.
It's great too, because the one of the things he told me was like, when he filmed Karate Kid 3, he goes, I would be afraid of this guy. The way he acted back then. It's
Yeah,
like such a different 360 of him. He goes, this guy would have bullied the hell out of me.
you're right. Right.
So now, like with Samantha, what's been your favorite thing about Samantha throughout these seasons?
I love that Samantha gets knocked down 100 times and gets back up
Mm,
101. I think she's extremely resilient, and I think she's like I said, she's on the journey of wanting to do the best she can,
Yeah.
and probably going about it all the wrong ways. But didn't we all as young people, and don't we all, in life in general? And so I love that she doesn't let it stop her. As many times as she takes the wrong path, she navigates back to find the right one.
Amazing. I've asked this question through the last 2 weeks now, like, the creators and have talked about possible spin-offs. Would you want to see a Samantha spin-off? What would you like to see?
I would love to. Samantha will be a part of my life forever, regardless. But I would love to never have to say goodbye to Samantha. I've had such a blast. I can see a million different versions of where Samantha could go or where she could end up. But I think most of all, as long as she stays true to her heart and her pillar of self, which I think really comes back to Daniel and to martial arts.
Yeah.
Any direction she goes, I think would be really fun to play out.
Amazing. Let's end this by like, what's one thing you want to tell the Cobra Kai fans? Because like they're gonna be heartbroken when the series ends. I am. I'm one of them.
I am too. Don't worry. I sobbed my way through every last on set. I would go, this is the last time you're punching me. This is the last time I'm going to try and kick you. Like every single last was
As far
incredibly
as we know, though, as far as we know, this is the last time, but you never
exactly.
know.
That's what I was going to say. For all the times that I said, this is the end, Ralph or Billy or one of our producers would go, well, maybe it's not goodbye forever. Goodbye for
Mm,
now. So I think that's the thing that, Ralph himself has talked about how he's like, I've always been Daniel Russo. It's always been a part of my life from the time that I did the Karate Kid to now, and
yeah.
that's a lot of years to be away from that character and still carry it with you. I believe the same, and I think that that's true for all of us as long as we all keep the maybe not the strike first, strike hard, no mercy aspect, but maybe like some find balance, like Miyagi Do wisdom we can all hold on to and keep our fingers crossed and hope for more opportunities.
There you go. Is there one thing that you kept from the set? Can you tell us?
I kept a couple of things. I'm not gonna lie, but specifically there was like foam fingers, but they were karate hand shaped.
Okay.
And they had the different dojos names on them, so I did take one of those.
Amazing. Mary, how can the listeners now and the viewers find you on social media, keep up with you? I know you've been posting upcoming, teasers, pictures, and
Yep.
everything. How can they find you?
I'm mostly on Instagram at Miss Mary M Mauser, and then I'm also a little bit on TikTok. I don't know. I'm more of a viewer of social media than I am good at participating in it, but definitely around these times, I get really excited to see what all the fans think. So I'm in the comments in there, guys. I'm reading them. I want to series.
There you go. Mary, I want to thank you for giving me a few minutes. Good luck with the series. I can't wait for everybody to check it out.
Thank you so much.